Hello, hi, my name is Claire. I hope you're treating yourselves well and, of course, others. I've been hearing the phrase, "why am I like this?" all day, or I've been saying it to myself. So I think I'm going to do this reading about kind of what makes you tick, or how you kind of resulted maybe in who you are or how you are right now. Things of that sorts. But I think it'll be interesting, to say the least. And we're using this deck that's Disney villains, which I didn't think I would ever use in these videos because it was just kind of like a silly deck, but I felt compelled to use it for some reason. So we shall see. You might not have had very many serious relationships, or been, maybe your serious relationships haven't resulted in longevity, or you might not talk to any of your exes, even if you have a family with them or some sort of tie with them. Maybe some of your exes talk to your family still, but not you. I think it's kind of a mixed bag. You probably don't have a type, or your type is very strong. I think it's probably polar in that way. I think that you could have with the Seven of Cups, probably you lean towards a type maybe, and it results in certain results that you've started to notice or have noticed over time, how frequently your relationships end the same way or similarly. You overall enjoy the thought of love, the Two of Cups. Family seems like a big dynamic to you, whether you've had it and know what that feels like in some form or fashion. I think you ultimately desire to build one of your own. I think it's kind of a legacy thing. Not I don't think it's an ego legacy thing, but I think you just you really enjoy passion. You really enjoy enjoying yourself. And if you could find someone that you could do that with, that's an ultimate for you. You could be kind of picky at this point, even if you weren't forever, in general. Maybe you haven't been, or you have been. I think you really hold yourself to a higher esteem as of lately. Maybe you're getting more serious, or you're changing your fashion sense in a certain way, but it's an evolution. Maybe you aren't changing yourself very much, but I think there's a definite evolution to how you carry yourself always. You kind of review the tapes. How do we, if you feel compelled to do something, let's see. I think you're always compelled, or you're always up to something, maybe. You're learning. I'm hearing habitually. Maybe you feel you're constantly being tested, but in every form or fashion of your life. Maybe people kind of count you out in certain ways, or you feel you're being overshadowed by certain aspects of your personality. Maybe you've neglected yourself in not showing your true colors. Maybe you feel yourself developing your own style of your handwriting, or maybe your own style of whatever you're into. You could be really kind of finding your pocket, your lane. For some reason, I have this notion that you might think that love or a relationship is a part of your plan. Like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not like neglecting that it could be, but I truly think that you see yourself developing best with a partner. Like, there's something to behold in a partnership. Maybe it isn't love. Maybe you just feel like it could be already in your life, or it is something that you see that you need help in, or something form in that semblance. But there's something to do with, you feel like there is another person. There needs to be a give and take in order for a success to happen in some form of your life. And I don't know if you find that frustrating or not. Maybe you're kind of figuring out, like, how do I apply myself to situations that ultimately don't leave me kind of feeling congested, I'm hearing, or contemplative. My sincerest apologies. I had to stop for a second. There was a heaping of fireworks and some more noise. It's a Friday night right now. I think that there's a sincerity in your new lifestyle that you're choosing. You're choosing your battles wisely. Your time is being spent on growth or pleasure, but I think you're feeling deeper, so it's easy you're just sick of ambivalence. I think that, like, it's either get in or get out. If you feel like people are not revealing themselves truly, like, you're not gonna, like, cut off someone if they're showing or striving. Like, if there's effort to be had and you see that people are attending the ball with effort, I don't know what I'm saying, but, like, I think that if there's a sincerity to the situation, you're gonna give it a try. And there's a never-ending story of patterns in your life that you're kind of seeing. Maybe you don't understand how it's happening or a way out of. Maybe you're just starting to realize that there is a cycle that is being had in your life. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, with the 8 of Swords, I think that there is a serious, like, I'm seeing a figure 8. So I think that truly it's many situations. Maybe you have reoccurring spots that you dream of, or there's things in your life that come in cycles, reoccurring instances, thoughts, patterns, freaky, like, maybe you think of things and they happen. Just a lot of similarities that you can define. Like, you can see them and recognize them. I think that you feel a tugging in this world of, like, the world is your friend. For some reason, I mean, it is, but, like, the way that I said that. You could have, like, the world has given you, like, you could have something or lots of things that really go in your favor. I think that you're very charming. You hold yourself well. There's a style, a finesse. I think you say what you mean and mean what you say. You have, like, a sturdy attitude. I think people really enjoy your mouth for whatever reason. But I, like, you're gaming. You're going. This shit is not a game. Truly, I think you are diligent. I think that you want to see progress if you are invested in something, and that also makes you a candidate for getting a little, I'm hearing snippy, but I think you get frustrated. Like, you're talented in many ways, even in ways that you know you're talented. Sometimes it takes a while, or you can just recognize that there is a neglect. Like maybe you feel neglected, like you feel blessed in many ways. You feel like you're kind of like a star child in many ways, but at the same time you feel as though the world shrouds you. Like you might be like having to like fight for yourself, but at the same time you feel like you're super gifted. I think it's that kind of thing with the moon, and it's Yzma. I love Yzma. The Emperor's New Groove, amazing movie. The purple, it reminds me of like, so I really truly think that there's through multiple lifetimes you've seen royalty, wealth of soul. I think that you've really built yourself like there's a sense of like I'm seeing a triangle, so, and that's supposed to be one of the strongest. So I think that it like represents the earth. You see results, you like to see results. If you don't see results, maybe you withdraw very easily, whether you choose to or not. I think it's kind of a habit of yours. Like as soon as you find yourself uninterested, it's really hard to build back up that interest. Or, you know, if the fire kind of goes out, you might smolder a little bit, you might sit in it, but once you're like really, really out, dunzo. I think it's really a situation of like, you know, you're gonna get it. Life has many cups for you. I think you've seen the downs and the upsides of you've been at the bottom of the hill, you've been at the top of the hill, you've been at the bottom of the lake, you've swam to the top, you were barely breathing at one point, and you stayed here. So I don't think there's a whole lot of people that can really tell you what's up. I think that there's a sense of you that really knows, oh my gosh, that really knows what you're doing. So it's hard for you to get advice truly, because you could be so, I'm hearing unattainable, but I really think that like you just have so much going for you, and you're not willing to let anything really hold you down. People kind of find it hard to even keep up with you, and you know it. I think you are truly very aware of the fact that you could be like the jack of all trades. Like you have the full, like the magician hasn't come up, but at the bottom of the deck it's the four of I thought it was wands, but it is swords. So maybe your mystery, like I think that you have a mystique that really holds you to, like, people might go wild for that. It might seem like you are withdrawn for some reason, but when people get you like alone, you're very intimate, you're very you make people want, it's like a chase. Like there's truly a feeling that you provide that I don't think can be attained or remade in a lot of situations. A naturalness to you. It's kind of like an untouchable, really, really untouchable, but in the same way of like unattainable. Maybe people can't really get to you in any way. Maybe you live far away. Maybe you hold yourself back from all people. Maybe you don't take a lot of gambles because you could have a lot, you could have built a lot and seen every side of a human. Like I think that you're probably maybe betrayed or have seen the worst of what a human is capable of. So you're not, maybe enough times that it sucks to have like see that side and like understand that people can be capable of such things. But I think you have come to a conclusion that even though the world can be cruel, tomorrow is a new day, the sun is still warm, you can still feel the snow, and it all looks beautiful eventually. Even when it doesn't, there's change to be had. The towers are the things that you built. I'm seeing you're standing at the top of the tower, and it was pretty at one point. The view was really nice and pretty at one point. The colors on this card are really pretty. I think you see the comedy and tragedy, the fault in people. You can spot antics from a mile away. You're like, lest we forget that it's kind of like the thing. There's a meme that it's like, pros, I'm with the shits. Cons, I'm with the shits. and then there was another one. It was like Soulja Boy said, he's like, flex on me once and I'll stun on you forever. I think that there's a sense of that. Maybe you have a hard time letting things go because you could be like the petty king. Maybe you have presented yourself with a lot of towers. That could be another thing, that you've been through a lot of stuff, you've overcome a lot of stuff, but you've also caused a lot of your own issues you're seeing or kind of knew at the time. There's a higher knowledge to your mischief. I think that you were truly very capable of seeing every side of the dice. I think you'll make that gamble. It's fun in games, but it's not. I think you're dead serious, but at the same time, you might make the gamble sometimes and make a foolish decision because you realize, I don't know, maybe it's like a mischief, an anarchy, who cares? But I think that you truly do care about people. I don't think there's any bone in your body that it wants to hurt someone that's innocent or cute or fun, loving, pure in that sense. I think it's more of just let's get this, we got it forever. And I mean, you seem like a a pleasure for sure. And you gotta know I love you. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome. Glad you decided to join us. Maybe you are finding success as of lately. Perhaps you have friends that are giving you a hard time for some sort of sincerity you're taking on, or maybe a family figure. I think that maybe you have a looming subject around you that is intimidating but wants to be kind of, maybe even in the shadows. You could know that or not. I think that this person is kind of undercover trying to manipulate you, whether you are aware of it, to the extent that it is. Apologies. You could feel very misunderstood. You could be very emotional due to your lack of anyone asking about your emotions, and or the inability of yourself to be able to recognize them properly. Maybe you have lash outs, maybe you bottle stuff up until you can't any longer. There's been a cord that's been severed in your identity of communication. Maybe you've been shamed for it. Maybe you have an actual issue with communication in some way, like a physical issue, or maybe you're recovering from something in general, maybe an illness, or mentally, physically. There's something that has its claws sunk into you, a hardship, a struggle, abandonment maybe is rearing its head in the situation. I think there's a lot of the energy seemingly there's a lot of energy of like, where were you? You could have overcome a lot of things. Maybe you're having people reoccur in your life that are just popping back up. Maybe you're starting to see people surface out of nowhere, just like from all different corners for all different reasons. It doesn't matter the relation, but I think it's a time of like people truly coming out of the woodworks. I'm hearing the Snakes start to sing by Bring Me the Horizon for some reason. I haven't even listened to that song in like years. It's very interesting. There is a sense you feel like you're swimming. Maybe you've been in situations so long that you don't understand a way out, or maybe you aren't even identifying the parts of yourself that are keeping you in situations. Maybe you're in situations reoccurring that are negative or tumultuous, feel nasty, ugly. But truly, when you kind of find yourself isolated with individuals like that, maybe relationships or whatever, it tends to be because something inside of yourself that is either clinging to these people or attracting them in some way. I'm not saying that is your fault, but I think that there is definitely a sense of you that feels like stone and this like immovable. Like you could feel a serious weight in your chest. You have maybe anxiety issues. This card is very attractive to me. I think that you probably enjoy maybe like northern lights or the night sky. You could enjoy pleasant nature experiences. There is a richness to you. I think you probably enjoy really savory foods, maybe mysterious things. Maybe you enjoy reading mysteries, or your media you intake has to do with life's wonders of some sort. Like it could be anything, like science, like true crime, or some more things like chemistry, just like anything under the sun that is kind of, you would have to go and figure it out. Like there's a lot to be attained in the realm of knowledge of it. I think you are kind of trying to connect the dots of life in a sense that everything is rounded. Everything is connected, but truly and seriously, like even the light is shown because there is a dark aspect to it. You want to better make decisions. You want to better move. Maybe you've suffered from falling into temptation or not making the right decisions. I'm hearing at all in life, but maybe that's just you like kind of beating yourself up. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, you might feel like you've made a lot of bad decisions, and or maybe you just feel like you've been in a lot of bad places because there's a lot of cups here. I think that truly you feel just very emotional about your situation more than the actual issues. There could be a lot of personal growth that needs to happen because the cups, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Cups is the need to walk away from a lifestyle. The 8 of Cups is the need to walk away, but since it is like cups, it could be a frame of reference or a lifestyle. I think there's something to do with you not, I think you're in the woods of your mind. I think that you are kind of either drowning in an emotion or a habit, vices, or a person. You feel very comfortable, but you're drowning. You're getting more lost with time spent because like this is the devil. This is the devil card. This is the Seven of Cups in reverse, but it's like all water. This is just the devil in general, so it's kind of, you got that upright as well. And this is the Ten of Wands, and then the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the need to walk away. The Ten of Wands is to need to put something down. So it's pretty clear, obvious message that's like beating into me, truly. There needs to be a switch up, like truly. I think people have been gossiping. I think you might have people that you don't respect around you. Beware of who you're talking to. Beware of, there's just a lot of 5, 6, the Six of Wands in reverse. Wow, okay. So I think you're like maybe hiding, maybe when I said you're in the woods or like drowning, I think, because look at this hat. This person is straight up like, it looks like they're hiding underwater from something. Like, that's what I'm getting off of that cup. I think that you're hiding in plain sight, or hiding from people that you have to be around. Like, you're forced to be around these people, but you hate it for some reason. The Ten of Wands, or maybe you've come to hate it, or maybe you've come to resent these people for whatever reason. Maybe you resent yourself for putting up with these people or giving them energy, time, or place. Maybe they've been a catalyst of your growth, but through that you're refusing to, like, you don't want them to be around anymore. Maybe they helped you grow in some way, but now you're like, okay, it's time. I'm going to take the light that I have attained from this situation and get the heck out. Maybe you feel very trapped, though. You could feel like people are gossiping or saying lies about you. You could have people actually lying about you or giving you bad information, trying to trick you. Because this is like the witch from Snow White. I think I would be warned about your environment for some reason, just because maybe it's over. Maybe this is all maybe this is something maybe you've dealt with it a lot. These cards are very intense, so I'm sorry, whatever you have had to go through. It's very, very serious and life-altering. But through all of this change, I think that there is a definite, like, rock bottom only can foresee up, lest we forget that things can only get better when you've been stabbed through the heart with a bunch of swords, The Three of Swords in reverse, I think either the weight that these people or situations, environment has held no longer really stings as much or bleeds as much as it did. You have a suit of armor that was made for the situations that you've been through, so I think that you kind of are gaining mobility or your wits about you in order to find an exit. I think that you might not feel like judgment is coming for those because you had the Judgment in reverse. So maybe you don't feel like judgment is coming for those. Or maybe it's a situation like, say you're around people that always have bad stuff happening to them, or you are always fighting, or you always have like unnecessary obstacles or things like that. Maybe you are reaping the karma from someone else, like maybe you are in an environment that you don't need to be in, and due to that you're having to go through the trials that are meant for this situation. Like maybe it's like guilty by association sort of thing. I said in another reading a while back, it was about how like times when they seem more hectic, it's truly a sense of like judgment is sweeping the land, and it is like all roaming. So whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been getting, achieving or not doing, for better or for worse, whatever you've been into, you're being judged for it. And so that's a time that people might be getting punished or having a lot going on in their life for whatever reason. So it's very intense. The timing is very intense. And I think the whole world deals with it in one, like, at once. So things can be more chaotic. Like, people can be taking out their emotions on strangers. Maybe people are being more reckless because they're having to deal with other situations in their life. It's just a sense of, like, a purge, but it's like the world being like, ha 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 ha, deal with the things that you've dealt. And some bad things happen, you know, like some bad things come upon us. Jesus Lord, this is a, like, oh, you got the 9 of Swords, so nightmares. Maybe you are having night terrors, or you are having to, like, lay next to people that you don't want to. Maybe you're fighting with people that you love. Maybe you have to be in a house or an environment that you just are loathing at this point. Maybe you're, like, seething. Maybe it's just episode after episode. You also got the 10 of Swords. This is a situation that the only thing you can do is time will see you out of it. There's a need for you to understand that you are growing through this. Like, you are going to be feeling very fresh after all of this. I think you're going to have all of your edges completely rounded off. Maybe I said, I think you're very strong. I think what the world is doing, because look, you have, like, all of these, yeah, I think you're very strong. Look at all these. It's like a army's worth of swords. So I think you have enough will and determination to get through what you're about to have to, what you've been having to deal with. I think probably life has been one thing after the other. So you're kind of making it, maybe you're struggling right now. Maybe you're actually, like, fighting with people. Let's try to see if there's anything to lighten the situation. Sorry. Gosh. Though, through all these things, like, I really feel that there will be, like, you'll be a new... I think you will find a new love for yourself. Maybe you have had a hard time loving yourself. Maybe you feel like you're finally receiving karma for a lifetime's worth of actions, or you've been determined to shroud yourself in bad behavior, bad company. I think the world's just kind of kicking your ass. I think you could be a really good person, and you have always been, but there's something in you that feels undeserving of love. The Lovers is this card, and there's something that you're not attaining your ultimate power. I think you're distracted with probably lust, addiction, distracted with people that hurt you, maybe anger, maybe, like, shiny things distract you, gambling. You could just have, like, an array of things that can keep your time and attention aside from yourself. I think you probably are at the end of, like, say you are receiving karma for something in life, but also life is giving you an extra heaping of, and don't forget it. Like, you have so much potential that the sun, like, the world wants you to see your potential so bad it's willing to like throw you into the sun right now. I think that it might be kind of frustrated. I think maybe you're seeing how you've gambled your time too much, or you've been out of line in some way or form. Maybe people have pushed you out of line. Maybe you need to tell people how they've been out of line, or just like get out of the situation in general. There needs to be a resolution, but it starts with you respecting yourself, and I'm hearing your body. So like there needs to be a lot of healing. You have the Wheel of Fortune as well, but it was upside down. So this is a time of, I'm hearing bad luck, but I think it's just judgment. Even if you've been a really good person, now or always, I think there was something to be justified, or you were a martyr at one point. You chose to be in this life, like whether like just out of stubbornness, you felt like, what the heck is the point of anything? I'm just gonna throw my existence away. Wish bad on myself. Something of like refusing your higher purpose. So I think that the world is kind of like, here's your opportunity to figure it out. You have a little bit of downtime. We're gonna give you a lot of things that are painful, and you can alchemize those terrible feelings some way in your life and turn them into swords, daggers, things that can protect you in the future from the things that are inevitable, because you are nomadic in the sense that there's probably not much of a ceiling in the things that you're capable of. You'll probably do a lot of outlets. Like, I don't think that you might have you probably do have like the ability to like rest and recover often, but there is a strong notion of yourself that you keep yourself busy. So the seriousness is needing to keep yourself in love with yourself. Like, stop working out of spite of the things that you don't like and the things that you don't have, and start working for the things that you know inside of you that are like worth it at this point. And make those small steps. You don't have to figure out the whole plan right now. You don't have to see how everything is going to work out or how the dots are going to connect in some way. But eventually things are going to fall away. Things are going to come towards you. You're going to figure out, like, masks are going to fall off. Truths are going to reveal themselves. The wheel will turn in your favor. It will go back up. You know, like, it was upside down. It'll come like this because it's a wheel. It'll always come back around. Tables are always turning. So just make sure that you're movable. And there's a lot of 10s here. So you're seeing 1010 or 10s a lot, or like 99 or 999. 111, 1111. Yeah, there's a lot of 10s actually. So I think that you're very close to the end, truly, because like these are all 10s. So I think that you're very close to the end, and it's just a matter of not giving up on yourself and others, I'm hearing. So you gotta know I love you, and best of luck.